Hello race fans and welcome to the Circuit of the Americas for the 2022 US Grand Prix. It's sunny skies here in Austin, Texas. However, rain is scheduled for the end of the session. So what can our drivers do? They'll have to put up some good lap times right off the bat if they want to progress. Let's see what's in store. And here's your practice report from the US Grand Prix practice. And you can see Yuki Tsunoda pips his teammate Keita Watanabe. So the Toyota team looks better than they did at their home Grand Prix last time out at Suzuka. And in practice 2, Keita Watanabe tops the session, almost a second ahead of Sergio Perez. And while the gap is there, it did rain during practice 2, and some drivers didn't put in a representative lap time when it dried up. And then at the end of practice 3, Tsunoda pips his teammate. So can Toyota bounce back after a topsy-turvy Japanese Grand Prix? Let's wait and see. But here is your practice setup. Here's your setup by Keita Watanabe and news. Energy store reliability upgrades, as well as a DRS upgrade came in, which propelled Toyota up to 4th in the pecking order, right behind McLaren, pipping Ferrari. So Toyota hopefully can bring some pace to this very fast circuit. And how, as mentioned previously, rain is scheduled at the end of qualifying. So can our drivers put in some good lap times before the wet weather comes? Let's just go right into it. Here goes Keita Watanabe on his outlap, heading through the triple right-hander. Oh, and he spins that unstable rear end. That seems to be the story that's been developing throughout this season for Toyota. And as Keita Watanabe gets back on the track, he'll have to cool those tires down before he sets his lap. Into the final corner, turn 20 we go, down the main straight, and Keita Watanabe, DRS wide open, and it's P6 overall. The sky is looming. It's been very overcast as Watanabe improved by over a second on those new soft compound tires. He's up at the 4th, 3/10 off of Valtteri Bottas. And at the end of the session, Keita Watanabe is up the order, and Yuki Tsunoda is also up the order as well, within the top 10. Still a bit off from his teammate, but still a very good result from Tsunoda. And it's very wet out as Watanabe goes into turn 19, heading down into turn 20, a little wide on the exit, showing just how treacherous the track surface has become, especially with the rain pouring down over the circuit across the line, and it's P2 overall. Watanabe is not improving on this final lap. It's very, very wet out, and he enters the pits. And Keita Watanabe still makes it through, along with Yuki Tsunoda, so both Toyotas in the top 10. Not a bad result from this team. Esteban Ocon out. It's time for the wet tires, but many of the drivers are opting to stay in. One of them is Watanabe. On the intermediates, he's only got time for one lap. He's behind Verstappen and Bottas, and he's going to be impeded as he gets some dirty air out of the final corner. But he's second, a 10th off of Bottas. So can he get pole position? Through the final corner, purple second sector. Bottas has not improved on his lap time. Can Watanabe finally snap that dream first pole? Let's see, it's gone purple twice, and it is! Watanabe all season has been looking for that pole position. He's had some mistakes. He's had some errors. But Watanabe, for the first time in his Formula 1 career, has snagged pole position 4/10 ahead of Valtteri Bottas. And hopefully he can turn that into a win tomorrow. Sunny skies, barbecues, and cowboys. Welcome everyone to the United States Grand Prix of 2022 here in Austin, Texas. It is a bright and cloudless day, contrary to the thrilling qualifying session we had yesterday where rain plagued the circuit. So what can our drivers do in these hot temperatures? And here we go, the Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas. A very, very interesting circuit. The center S's in Sector 1 emulating Magnussen-Beck. It's still long back straight for some good passes heading into the hairpin of turn 12 and the triple right-hander, and of course the last corner where if you put off an audacious dive bomb, perhaps you can snag the lead. And here we go onto the starting grid, and for the first time ever, Toyota is on pole position on merit. Keita Watanabe put up a master class in the wet to put himself up into P1. So what can he do from that position? But his teammate then promoted up the order through grid penalties. So what can he do? What can Toyota do? And can Tsunoda go for a top 5 result, his first of the season? Let's wait and see. Here's your starting grid for the race. Keita Watanabe snaps his first pole position here in Austin, and Valtteri Bottas P2. The Finn has been rising the ranks with his good performance. Lewis Hamilton 3rd, Sergio Perez 4th, Max Verstappen 5th, and Yuki Tsunoda promoted to P6 on the grid. Sebastian Vettel 7th, Lando Norris 8th on some engine penalties, along with Russell and Charles Leclerc, again another one of engine penalties. Sato 11th, and Fernando Alonso 12th. also engine penalties. So engine penalties and reliability is the story of the grid. Latifi 13th, Ocon 14th, again the Alpine with poor reliability. Mazepin 15th, Giovinazzi 16th, Ricciardo 17th, and Gasly 18th, all three on engine penalties. Stroll 19th, Raikkonen 20th, Mick Schumacher 21st, and Carlos Sainz with a full new engine at the back of the grid. So how does this mixed up grid going to deliver some classic racing? Let's see as we head into the race. 5 lights we go. Toyota, Kenny Watanabe get off the line well. Here we go. It's lights out. And away we go. It's a good, decent start for Keita Watanabe. It's a really good start from Lewis Hamilton. It's looking to contest. The Red Bulls are side by side. It's 3 wide. Tsunoda's got an amazing start down the inside. And he's pipped his teammate. Has there been contact though? That was a very audacious dive bomb that probably screwed up Watanabe's own exit. He gets passed by Bottas and his teammate. And Yuki Tsunoda, for the first time in his Toyota career, is up leading a race. Max Verstappen trying to make a move around the outside through the S's, and he blocks him off, but he's being swarmed by the Red Bull. He's being swarmed by Hamilton now, as Hamilton takes the position over Verstappen, and as the dust settles after that crazy dive bomb, Tsunoda leading the race still. Here's your race start. Watanabe gets off to a decent start. It's not bad overall, but the others around him just get very well, and you're going to see just out of nowhere comes Yuki Tsunoda with the kamikaze dive bomb, and you can see Watanabe just is not ready for that, and his teammate cuts him off. That impedes all his momentum, which allows an opening for Bottas, and has clearly disrupted his flow. As you can see, he's constantly attacking Verstappen. Let's see, and Tsunoda, that is an almighty start from the Japanese driver. He has some anger in him after failing to finish the Japanese Grand Prix, and there was a gap. There was a gap there, so Tsunoda was all entitled to take that move, and that is audacious on the brakes. Here goes Watanabe, heading out of the S's, and he's wide. Hamilton goes through, and oh, is that carbon fiber? One of them has wing damage. That is a severe collision. It's going to really destroy someone's race. Let's look at this slow motion. You can see here, coming out of turn 8, going into turn, and it's a quick sharp turn to turn 9, and let's see what happens. Lewis Hamilton just pops out of nowhere. In all fairness, there was a gap there, so he was entitled to it. I don't think Watanabe realized just how wide he'd gone or where the mirrors. And you can see the carbon fiber actually comes from Hamilton's wing, the left front end plate. Here's the replay from the wing cam. You're going to see just bam, there it goes, off the wing. And Lewis Hamilton's going to be very frustrated as his title chances now pretty much disappear.
Box, I lost the freaking way. Yeah, coming in.
And this is going to be a very painful lap. Kota's not a very high downforce circuit, but you can see just how much he's wrestling to get the car in. Down the back straight we go. DRS is activated. Bottas has been edging on the back of Yuki Tsunoda all race, and Bottas takes the lead of the US Grand Prix before the turn, and Tsunoda, after a 2-lap stint of leading the Grand Prix, is now having to settle the back behind the Mercedes. Is that Kimi Raikkonen? That is Kimi Raikkonen pulling off to the side of the road at the exit of the S's, and that is really depressing. Let's go see what's happened. You can see just through here a gearbox failure. There's been a lot of gearbox failures from our drivers, and as mentioned at the top of this program, reliability at this phase in the season is going to be all important. Kimi Raikkonen, at the place where he scored his last Formula 1 win, is DNF.
What happened? I was power. Something engine or something with turbo.
And that is really sad, considering this is his last season. Here goes Keita Watanabe, closing in on his teammate. He's so close. He's been tailing Tsunoda, who just can't seem to find the pace that he had after that incredible start. Let's see what he can do. Keita Watanabe breaks the slipstream. DRS wide open, dives into turn 1, giving his teammate a taste of his own medicine. And there we go. That's Watanabe up into P2 and now ready to chase Valtteri Bottas. And here goes Watanabe into the pit lane. It's a very long pit lane here at Kota. It's a fairly early pit stop for Watanabe. The tire wear around Kota is very high though. So what strategy is Watanabe going to go for? Is he going to go aggressive? Is he going to go conservative? We'll have to wait and see. And he slaps on a set of medium tires. So he's going kind of conservative on this run. And the Toyota looked to be pretty racy on the medium tires. We've seen this all season. So what can Watanabe do? Can he close the gap? He rejoins the track in 7th. Not a bad position to be in with everyone ahead of him going to have to pit. So can Watanabe get a really good outlap? Into the pits goes Lando Norris. And and Yuki Tsunoda as well. And Tsunoda seems to be pitting onto another set of soft tires. So Toyota's mixing the strategies up, and Tsunoda's going to go uber aggressive. So what can he do? And has Watanabe perhaps maybe dropped the ball here on strategy? Max Verstappen pits. Valtteri Bottas sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and Verstappen is going onto a set of medium compound tires as well. But at this late stage in the race, perhaps is he going to go into a set of softs at the end? Watanabe might do that as well. He'll have to do that if he wants to pass both Red Bulls. But Perez takes the lead. And Sergio Perez pits now, so he was only ahead off the pit stops. But Valtteri Bottas on his new soft tires get by him, and he's going to be electric fast after that win, after showing some supreme pace at Suzuka. And can Watanabe pass Perez, though? He does with ease. Very good lap from Watanabe, whose medium tires have really rubbered in. But can he make up the pace to an electrically fast Bottas on the softs? We'll have to wait and see. He's closing 18, lap 18. Yuki Tsunoda pits. So this is around the time that Valtteri Bottas will be pitting as well. So will Watanabe match him, or will we try to extend the stint on the medium tires? And Bottas has pit at the end of this lap. He was 18-second gap to Watanabe. So has he done enough? Has he done enough to hold his position? He goes instead of medium compound tires as Watanabe rounds the final corner down the straight, and Bottas is well out of the pit box. He's heading down rejoining the track now, and he basically almost 3 seconds to Watanabe. With Watanabe pitting, that Bottas' lead is surely secured, and the Finn is going to probably win this Grand Prix. And Watanabe enters the pit lane. So very interesting. It's a little weird strategy call here, because the Red Bulls are fairly close to the Toyota, and they've been showing some electric pace on these medium tires. There's a very good chance they'll go to the end of the race on these tires. So has Toyota dropped the ball in strategy, or have they noticed some sort of excessive tire wear that prevents the one stop from happening? But Watanabe rejoins the track on a set of soft compound tires, a new set, no doubt, and so he's going to be electrically fast. Can he find the pace that Bottas has found on his? And this is Yuki Tsunoda on the mediums, following Sebastian Vettel. He's very close. Tsunoda is looking for his best finish at Toyota this season for 5th place. Let's see. Passes Sebastian Vettel with ease as Aston Martin has just dropped off the cliff to where it was at the beginning of the season. And Tsunoda is up into a career best P5 for Toyota. Valtteri Bottas has dominated this race since he took the lead from Yuki Tsunoda. He's going to win this race, and he's going to extend his title challenge to Max Verstappen as he crosses the line to win the US Grand Prix. Max Verstappen takes it, and the Red Bulls get a 2-3, a very good result from the charging Bulls. But Watanabe is going to be very frustrated with the strategy call after a pole position has failed to convert to a win. He's going to be utterly dejected by that, as he was unable to close the gap to the Red Bulls. Should he have stayed out? Well, we don't know. Benefit of hindsight. But Valtteri Bottas, he has no hindsight. He's not looking back. He's only looking forward at that title charge that he really wants desperately. But Yuki Tsunoda, although decently far from his teammate, that is his best finish and his closest finish in terms of place to Watanabe in this season. And he jumps up to 13th, passes Antonio Giovinazzi with that good result. Sebastian Vettel passes Pierre Gasly, and Max Verstappen's lead over the top dwindles down to 2 points, and Lewis Hamilton 27 behind. His title challenge, very hard, though still possible. And of course, the constructors, the fight seems to be settling down, as most of the teams, there's a good gap between most of the teams, unless there's some really ill fortunes that occur. I doubt that this championship standing will change. And Valtteri Bottas will be hoping that the drivers changes as he carries this momentum, heading now to the Mexico City Grand Prix, where hopefully we'll see another amazing race here. But the Red Bulls will be charging at their high altitudes. But we'll wait until then. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.